Hey everyone, it's Casey at MBSPro. I just want to show a quick video on our clinic portal, specifically related to our AI receptionist and how we've got that set up. So with the AI receptionist, what they need a couple of things. So they need a knowledge base. The knowledge base is essentially your reception handbook or reception Bible. So everything that your receptionist would need to know to be able to function in your clinic. So things like opening hours. Do you have allied health on site, pathology, imaging? What days are you open and closed? All those sorts of things which sound obvious. Of course, we're closed on Christmas Day, of course, but unless it's in the knowledge base for the AI to refer to, it's difficult for it to know. Now, it also does link into your best practice. So any days that there is no appointments available, you will know that you are not in fact open, of course, because it cannot book an appointment. However, for the purposes of, say, asking a question, as in a patient might call up and say, hey, what time do you close on Friday afternoon on like the 15th of May, or I don't know if that's a Friday, but something like that. It can have a knowledge base about your opening hours and your phone line hours and appointment types and all those sorts of things to give those answers to. So hopefully that makes sense. That's the knowledge base. You put in everything about your clinic, your costs, what sort of facilities you have, what sort of services you offer, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. Now, when you're setting up the actual phone lines, we need to coordinate with your IT provider. So we use 3CX at my medical center. That's called my medical center. But your IT provider, whoever or whatever phone system you use, will need to coordinate with that. I've created a little, hopefully you can see this here, a little diagram as to how we manage our incoming calls. I've just slid that across really slowly. There you go. So essentially, when we have an incoming call, we'll have a message that says, welcome to Condamine Medical Center, or welcome to your medical center. The way that we do our splits, I think it's not a bad idea to not force patients into using AI. So we don't have the AI answer straight away. We do it in the AI's voice so that patients are getting used to James, our AI receptionist, and how he sounds and how he can book your appointments. But we don't force patients to use it. I think that's a good way of using AI receptionists, as in not forcing people. Otherwise, they will get annoyed with it. So an incoming call, welcome to the medical center. You might play any other messages like, you're doing your flu clinics, or you're closed on this day, or, whatever, or this doctor's away, whatever messages you want to play. We'll then play a message that says, stay on the line. If you want to speak to a human receptionist, we'll answer your call shortly, of course. However, if you want to book, cancel, reschedule, you can speak to our virtual reception, James, virtual receptionist, James, and he will book, cancel, reschedule, etc. And he can do that for you immediately. And then if James can't handle the call, it's a complex call. You might not want new patients signing up through James. James can do new patients, but you might find that you prefer that to go through a human receptionist, or whatever workflows you want to configure. The AI receptionist, James, can reroute back to the human receptionist. Otherwise, if a patient doesn't want to speak to a virtual receptionist, they can just stay on the line and they'll speak to a human. So there's no real difference for people that don't want to speak to AI. So with that, we're at a pretty big clinic. We'll get 2,000 odd calls a week. Interesting, as we've put this on over the weeks, we've found that it's increased in volume. So the first day we might get 400 calls a day, right? It was answered. About 20 people that called in used it, so not many. Now we're getting up to 500 calls a week that are being answered by the AI receptionist, and people are using it more and more as they get used to it, get used to the voice. So there are a couple of tips. Ensuring your knowledge base is up to date, because you want the AI to be able to answer the questions that the patients call in for, and then just having your call flow, having a think about that. So not forcing patients into it, but offering it as an option for things to get done really quickly, I think is really helpful. So hopefully that has helped. Make sure you check out our document sorter/scanner as well. And let me know if there's any questions. We're putting this video up on YouTube with all of our other shorts, so you can get a good handle of all the cool toys that we have. Thanks very much. Bye.